Namaste, welcome to Flow From Home. My name's Shannon and this is how to create a space at home to practice. This is my favorite part. I love creating beautiful altars for myself. And an altar is this sacred space that you can arrive to with intention to breathe, to meditate, to reflect, or to roll out your mat and practice. This space does not have to look aesthetic. It doesn't have to look Instagram perfect, but it needs to be a space that's safe and feels comfortable, and also in an environment where you're going to be able to wind down. With that, there's a few things that you can do at home to help assist you in your practice. So the first thing, which I've mentioned in previous videos, is get yourself a good yoga mat. If you're just beginning in your practice, a thick foam mat can be great, and these are really nice to put beneath a grip mat if you do struggle with any knee pain, any lower back pain, adding a foam mat under the big mat. But the top mat, you want some grip. So a grip mat, it is a little bit of an investment, but it's going to help you in your downward facing dog. It's going to help that you're not slipping on the mat. Now, I would suggest clearing the space around you of any clutter. We've all heard this phrase, clean space, clean mind, and it really does help. If you can clear out a room, maybe you have conservatory, if it's summertime, practicing yoga in your garden is incredible, such a good feeling. Have a dedicated space. When you start to show up consistently in the same space, it's as if there's an energy in this space, and your body starts to learn when you go to this space, it's time to switch off. So ideally, if you can have a set sacred space within your home, that's great. But I can appreciate you may be practicing on the go, you may be one of our clients in the studio, you've gone on holiday, maybe you work away and you want to keep your practice going. Just making sure that you have something that's regular to ground you, and that could just be the mat itself. You could open up a window, let some fresh air in, maybe light some incense or a candle. And the altar itself, you might just want to have a vase of flowers in front of you. You may want to have some crystals if you use crystals. You might want to have a small singing bowl nearby. Anything that indicates to you, this is space for me. If you're practicing at home, you may also notice that there's other people in the building and you can hear them. And for me, it took myself a really long time to get to a point where I allowed the sounds around me to be a part of the experience. Maybe you've got parents at home or children at home that are making a lot of noise, and this can at first feel like a huge distraction. But I promise you, they are your teachers. They're a blessing in disguise, because when there's noise around you, it's a lot harder to focus. If you were in a beautiful studio and it was completely quiet, you're going to be able to focus. When sound comes in, especially sound that we don't want, it gives us the challenge that we don't get caught up in the sound and run away with it. I wish they'd be quiet. I wish they weren't here. I wish I had some more time or space to myself. But we have to acknowledge where we're at and what we have right now, and accept that and give ourselves the space to practice nonetheless, without this need and this attachment to perfection. So clear out your space of any clutter, or if you can, at least the stuff immediately around the mat. Give yourself enough space. So if you just move the arms side to side, up and down, make sure there's some immediate space off of the mat just so that you don't feel squeezed in, and ideally in a room, in a space where you're on your own, or maybe practicing with a family member or a partner or a friend, but a space for you where you feel comfortable. I'm always going to recommend that you have water on hand and you're wearing appropriate clothing that feels good for you, and also having your props nearby. Now, if you don't have yoga bricks, you can use books. If you don't have a yoga strap, what works really nicely is the belt to your dressing gown. This can work. If you don't have a meditation pillow, you can just use pillows on your bed. And if you don't have a bolster, you could roll up a blanket or your duvet as well. If you don't have a meditation pillow for the eyes, something so simple as a blanket, a sock, probably wouldn't put a sock on your eyes, or a t-shirt can be great just to pop over the eyes as well. So really anything that you would have in a studio setting, you can make do at home. If you aren't going to be investing in that equipment, that's completely fine. You can find alternative things that will help you in your practice as well. Also, the placement of the camera can be really important. So whatever you're watching me on, whether it's laptop, phone, iPad, I've seen people even put me on their TV, which is pretty cool. You want to have me in a position where you're going to be able to see me. So we usually practice face forward. So I would say to sit facing the top of your mat and have me at eyes height. So if you're going to be seated, if it's like a restorative practice, we primarily are lying down. A more dynamic practice like vinyasa, you're going to be a little bit higher. So if you can find a way to get the camera or the phone, the laptop at eyes level, it's going to be the best thing for you so that you can see it at all levels. If you're meditating, you don't really need to be able to see me. You might just want to put your headphones on and just pop me to one side. That can be really nice as well. And the last thing is that, like I've mentioned with sounds at home, if you're going to be practicing and you don't often get the time and space for yourself, I would say let the people in your home know that you're going to be doing your yoga practice. Tell them how long you're going to be and ask as politely as you can, if this is obviously appropriate, if they could just give you that time. Close your door, put on some soothing frequencies. If you do have another device that you can play music through, and give yourself that time. Your practice really isn't about the space in which you practice. It's about the space that it creates within and how you feel after and throughout. So it's less about the aesthetics and more about just showing up and gaining that consistency over perfection. I'll see you in the next video.